Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Gamers Sideline Football Fridays, your favorite day of the week, because then you get to see the show. Um, I am Mike, aka Lichmax, and over here with me we have my guy.
Kinetik.
Thank you. And today we have a couple things we're here to talk about. First and foremost, I'll just actually rattle through the topics. We got some
Hold
NFL
on,
rookies.
hold on. Before you
What's
do
up?
that,
Yep.
I need to put in a complaint with HR that our opening video shows the Lions, but there's no Vikings representation there.
There actually was Vikings representation in the second clip in there.
I
There
missed it.
was
Okay.
a JJ Dot for a touchdown.
I retract my complaint. Continue.
I made sure to have a good mix. But so we had at the beginning we had a Wolverines because we're fans of the Wolverines, and then we had a
No, you're good. I just missed it because
Maniac
I
in the
just missed it
chat.
because I was trying to get things settled as we went live, and I missed it. So my bad. What up, Maniac?
It's all right. But yeah, so we got a couple things we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about some NFL rookies making a name for themselves out there. We're going to talk about the AP Top 25. Then we're going to get into the Week 9 preview. I have it set at Week 8, so I have to fix that real quick. And then we're going to talk about the marquee matchups of this weekend. A couple of which I believe are rivalry games. One is an important rivalry game for us. And then we're going to talk about our predictions for Saturday for a couple of the teams. We're going to pick out a couple and just kind of talk about them towards the end of the show. But without further ado, let's get into the first topic here. We got, is Skattebo, I don't remember how to pronounce it, the real deal or not? So he's been making a name for himself in the NFL so far. He's been getting talked about a lot. I think we've all seen the memes. We've all seen the reels on Facebook. I guess I'll throw it to Kinetik first. What are your thoughts on Skattebo?
Okay. Listen, I like Skattebo in college. I'll be honest. I sort of underestimated how well he would transition to the NFL. He's it's hard not to like him, but you also kind of roll your eyes at like his antics and stuff because it's like classic frat boy like behavior. But it's strangely like I said, it's hard not to like him and root for him. But you kind of just like, okay, yeah, but like I've seen it said elsewhere, and I agree. Like the way he plays is awesome, but he's probably only going to have like a 3 to 5 year career, and he's not going to remember his own name by 45.
Yeah, no doubt with how he goes about playing the game, that like, extreme physicality he has when he's running the ball. I think one of the reels that I seen on Facebook was Hulk no juke, Hulk only truck. He
The
does. I don't
memes
think.
are amazing. The
Yeah,
the memes and the jokes are hilarious.
I think Cam skipped the part of football practice where they taught you how to juke and only really paid attention to the truck portion because man, does he truck through people. It's crazy to watch him out on the field. He just like, especially against, I think there was a game against the Chiefs where he just like ran through what 4 or 5 people before finally getting taken down.
Something like that.
Yeah, he does not know when to quit, and I think that's something great for the game as a whole. It's good to see a back that doesn't quit, but at the same point, with the way that he does, the way that he plays, which is essentially head first instead of trying to use his pads, he goes head first into people. I think you're right. I think we're looking at he's probably looking at maybe like a 3. I would give him a 5-year max, soft 5-year max on or no, hard 5-year max on his time in the pros, because I think he's going to end up with CTE like around then, and it's not a great thing to really like expect out of somebody, but the way he plays, that's kind of what we're looking at. I mean, but if he but the one good thing that I have seen is he is going to be trying to make all of his teammates very resilient to headshots, because he likes to headbutt his teammates.
Yeah. So listen, I don't think it matters because we're not like a monetized channel or anything. So just for fun here, I'm gonna go ahead and share so that we can watch this thing that I sent you about Skattebo because
Okay.
it's hilarious. I don't care, and I don't know who this guy is that makes these clips. I saw it on Facebook. shout out to him. I'd love to give him credit. I don't know who he is, but this is for you guys to enjoy. So let me just figure out how to
Good.
still. All right, there we go. All right, guys, enjoy this. This is just a quick little minute clip.
I don't think you have your sound up. Yeah, I don't think you had your sound up very high because I couldn't hear it at all.
Well, it would have been nice if you would have told me that.
I did.
I don't know how to. All right, whatever. It's funny. If y'all want to see it, hit me up on social media. I'll send it to you. It's absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, I mean that I could wholeheartedly see a lot of the teams, a lot of the players talking about him like that. I mean, I like his showmanship in the game. It's really like kind of make me want to watch the Giants play because of just to see the antics that Cam and Jackson get up to on the field.
Yeah, my biggest regret is that we're in the timeline that we never get to see Diego Pavia and Cam Skattebo on the same team together, because that would be hilarious. And this is no slight at Jackson Dart. I like Jackson Dart, but I just think it would be pure comedy gold to have Skattebo and Diego Pavia in the same backfield, and I don't think we'll ever get that. But and it's just because they're kind of like the same person, just at quarterback and running back.
Yeah,
it's entertaining though, and it's cool because it gives life to the New York Giants, like a team that's kind of been without an identity since they let Saquon Barkley walk, and then they ended up cutting Daniel Jones, and they really need this. And of course, as soon as they get Jackson Dart and Cam Skattebo online, they lose Malik Neighbors, which sucks for them. But I think next year is going to look really nice for them.
Well, I mean, I think Cam has also been doing a good job at kind of like filling that hole that they had with losing Malik Neighbors. I know he's a running back, but I see that he can also take passes too. I mean, there's usually short, but he turns them into longer runs because, I mean, frankly, he just kind of just plows through anyone in his way. Because for some reason, like I said before, he never learned how to juke. He only learned how to truck.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one in that clip, since y'all couldn't hear it. One of them he goes, but he don't have no wiggle though. And dude said he don't need wiggle. He got momentum and a grudge.
Yeah, it really seems like he has an issue. Although we know that he actually doesn't, but it just seems like whenever he's out on that field, he just kind of looks at the other team and just finds somebody and decides you right there, you're going down. And that's kind of how he plays.
We got some YouTube celebrities in the house with Maniac and Johnny Olden Jr. checking in. Appreciate you guys.
Yeah, welcome to the show. Hopefully we entertain you about as well as you guys entertain yourself on your own shows.
Oh, they're the professionals. I'm still an amateur at this.
Yeah, I'm beyond amateur, but hey, we're doing our best out here. So let's talk about. Do you have any other rookies you want to highlight during this segment before we move on?
I did until you put me on the spot, and now I'm having a mind blank. I mean, Cam Ward, he's shown flashes, but not consistency. I don't hate what I've seen from Dylan Gabriel. I liked what I was seeing from Omari and Hampton until he got injured.
Yeah.
I think that there's a lot of undue hate towards Ashton Genty. who's running behind one of the worst offensive lines in the NFL. Um, I'm trying to think who else were some high profile.
Uh, we
I,
got
I,
Will we got Will Johnson. I mean,
yeah,
he
Will
was kind
Johnson
of a name.
potentially on track for defensive player or rookie of the year.
Yeah,
And I hope he does because he's going to show everybody why it was absolutely ridiculous that they had him falling to the second round over some concerns about his knee not being able to heal. Dude was a top 10 talent and fell to the second round because of some stupid scouting report that his knee was messed up beyond repair. And
right.
I thought it was absolutely crazy. Like I know as a Vikings fan, I would love him in our backfield right now because our cornerbacks are horrible. I mean, we've got two good cornerbacks, and like that's it. Um, and I hated that we passed on him at 24. Now I understand we needed a guard. We needed Donovan Jackson, who came in from Ohio State and has done an amazing job so far. But it was ridiculous that Will Johnson fell that far in the second round. Like that was crazy. So I hope he makes every team that passed on him regret it.
Yeah, me too. I want to see him do great things, although I don't root for the Cardinals, but I do know that they did need someone like uh, Will Johnson, and he's really been kind of showing out for him over there, kind of proving the scouts wrong, especially since he is on track to make a defensive rookie of the year. And I really want to see him win that award. That would be really the icing on the cake when it comes to showing the scouts that, hey, you messed up when you scouted me so low.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I agree. Like Cam Ward's been showing some flashes, and but yeah, I definitely want to see some. But I definitely want to see some more out of the rookies from this year's draft. One thing I will say is I am kind of entertained with the way that Ashton Genty positions himself pre-snap. He does the what was it, the Jason or Michael Myers pose.
Yeah, so it's a very interesting stance in the backfield. I don't know why he does it. It's kind of creepy looking, but it's also kind of cool. I don't know.
I think it
Um,
might be to not give away the fact that he might be running or not. Because if he's in a certain stance, it could give
yeah.
away he's running. But if he just kind of stands straight up, then he can
So
also see the whole field and look for gaps.
so that's a good take on the surface, but it really doesn't hold up. And I'll say this for this reason: defensive players aren't looking at your stance; they're looking at your eyes. And
Right.
most running backs give themselves away by where they're looking. If they're running it, they're looking at lanes. If they're blocking, a lot of times they'll eye their target or their assignment. Um, so I don't think that defensive players are getting faked out by it. Um, and I'm still on the fence about whether or not it masks sort of like your takeoff or your movement. Because sometimes I think it does, but also like then you kind of have to do like an extra half movement where you have to like bend your knees to start your run. So like I
Right.
don't know, I'm a little iffy on that. And
I mean,
yeah,
it'd be interesting
to what
to
Ripstar is saying in the chat, he's on here trying to make me look bad because he knows I don't have a suit. So he's over here trying to make me look like the worst dressed person on the show.
well, I gotta look the part. Um. So yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly why he does it. I'd be interested to find an interview that kind of talks about why he does it. Like that would be kind of an interesting thing. I'll definitely have to keep an eye out for that, and maybe we can get some clarity as to what his thought process is and standing like that. Maybe it's just for him to scout out the defense, before he runs. That might be it. Just as simple as that. But with that, let's move on to the next topic here. We got the AP Top 25 shakeup. So it's something we do where we go through the AP Top 25 and just kind of talk about what's changed, what's new, and where we think people should actually be compared to where they actually are on the board. For those of you who
Sure.
might be new joining us.
Bro, I swear to God, you just almost adopted a Southern accent for the first time in real time, mid sentence.
I've been trying to work on it so that way I can sound a little bit more like to where I'm supposed to be. Because I'm down here in the South. I should probably sound like it.
Yeah, I lived in the South for like 18 years. I never adopted a Southern accent.
I can pick it up. I can drop it. It all depends on what I'm looking to
So
do.
what you're saying is you're the Brian Kelly of podcasters. Because when he was hired to LSU in one of his first interviews, he tried to adopt a fake Cajun accent.
Oh yeah, no,
And it
I
was
can't
really
do I
bad.
can't do no Cajun accent, but I can do kind of a Southern accent. I got a couple of accents under my belt I can do. So let's start from the bottom here, work our way up. I think. So first things first, Michigan back on the top 25 at the bottom, but we're there. I think we should be higher realistically. Definitely should be above Texas. I think. What are your thoughts?
Okay, so the one on the what are the is this coaches versus media poll?
Yep.
Okay. Um, so I definitely think that we should be higher than Arizona and Illinois. Texas, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think that Texas probably on paper has the more talented team. I think that as weird as it sounds, Michigan, like the players on the field have been more consistent. The coaching staff, the play calling stuff hasn't been real consistent. And then, of course, the defense had that one really bad game with USC. But I would probably put us right with Texas, but I would put both Michigan and Texas above LSU, Cincinnati, Louisville, probably right with Tennessee. Although to be completely honest, I'd probably put Virginia lower. I'd put South Florida higher. And that's what I'm seeing, sort of just on the bottom half there.
Yeah. See, I would.
I said Illinois, did I not?
No, you got to pronounce the S. It's Illinois.
I'm not saying Illinois. I learned that in third grade.
See, I think I would definitely put Michigan maybe like in at 23 here. Uh like above Illinois and Arizona State. I don't know. I would like to say that we would be above Texas at this point. I do think that Texas does have a little bit better talent on their team than we do, but I mean that's just kind of looking at how they've been playing compared to us. I mean we've been doing great when it comes to teams that
Well, I would say it's the talent gap isn't as big as what you would think, but I think it's
right.
that we're such a young team that
Yeah,
theoretically their team should be more polished and not make as many mistakes, more disciplined, because of they're a more seasoned team
right.
than what Michigan has right now. And for that reason, I would default to think that they should be higher, but right now I would say it's about the same at the same level.
Yeah.
Um, with the inconsistencies that we've both shown.
Yeah, I definitely think that Michigan and Texas should be 22, 23. I mean, they could almost be interchangeable between 22 and 23. Um, I don't think that Illinois State should be at 23 and Arizona State should like these two teams should not be ahead of us. We should actually be higher ranked than
I,
those
I,
two at the very least.
I don't understand the question, Ripstar. What number on what? Like,
What number is Hillman and TJ Metcalf?
I mean, but right, but are you asking their jersey numbers or not, like this isn't
They're,
player rankings, so I don't know.
their jersey numbers is what I'm assuming. But
Jersey numbers are 6 and 7.
6 and 7.
Yeah,
Okay,
Hillman
so
is
let's
6 and TJ Metcalf is 7. I think Tevis Metcalf is like 24 or something.
So you're all right with everything up to 14, with the exception of moving Michigan up to 23, right?
Me personally, I would probably I would move Virginia down, and I would have Tennessee, Texas, and Michigan at 16, 17, 18.
Okay, so
Well, I'm sorry, 17, 18, 19, because I would also move South Florida up,
okay.
and I just shift everyone else down. I would probably put Illinois higher than Cincinnati, but I would other than that, I would shift everyone down.
See, I think I would maybe move I see. I don't know as if Texas would be. I don't think that Texas and Michigan, like at this point in the season, at least until after this weekend, I don't think I can honestly place them higher than like 18 and 19 with how they've been playing.
Well,
Like,
but
obviously, I'm a Michigan fan, but I also don't want to just go off of what you say. Like,
right.
I agree that I think that they definitely should be higher, but I think an argument can be made that they should be sitting at 19 and 20.
Right. Well, I mean that's kind of where I've got them. What I just said, like I've got them around that area, but I think a lot of it is just the volatility of the top 25. It's like I said last week when we were on here. Once you get past like six,
Yeah.
it's like so up in the air, and like there's been so many teams. Like I think it was Keegan last week that said that there's no great teams any really, and that kind of bears itself out after like the top 5 or 6. So
Right.
like from like 7 down to like 20, it's like there could be an argument made for almost every team there.
Right. So I guess let's shift gear. Let's go look at the top 10 here. We got Ohio State at number 1. I think that Ohio State and Indiana should swap places. That's my opinion. And that's not even just because I don't like Ohio State. I honestly think Indiana has a more impressive wins over Ohio State.
I'll say, okay, again, I'm just being honest here with some things. So I do think Ohio State has shown number 1. I was wrong last week when I said that I thought that Miami had a case to be number 1 after they dropped that game to Louisville. That was stupid. Um, I'm just listen. Call me a hater or whatever you want. I'm not a believer in Indiana and Signetti. I think what he's doing, he's punching above his weight class right now, and he's doing a great job of it, and he should get credit for that. But I don't think that they're one of the top 5 teams in the country. I don't think that he's one of the top coaches in the country. I think they're a good team, but I don't see them as a top 5 team. Texas A&M, I'm okay with their ranking, but I have trouble saying that they're a better team than Alabama. I know Alabama stumbled, and so I understand why Texas A&M is ranked higher.
Yeah.
But just like the eye test, watching the teams play, if Alabama and Texas A&M were to play tomorrow, I would take Alabama. So I understand that they have to be rated higher than Alabama because of the record right now, but I think Alabama's a better team than Texas A&M. So I would, if I was ignoring record, I would drop Indiana down. I would move Alabama up to 2. I would keep Texas A&M at 3, Georgia at 4, Oregon at 5. And I still stick to my guns that I think Oregon wins the Big Ten. So,
I could see it. I could honestly see it. I think that I think it's going to end up being Ohio State and Oregon in the Big Ten championship. I think that's what we're going to be looking at this year.
yeah.
I think that, and I think Oregon's going to take it. But as for like we'll say as for like the top 5 here, I would honestly, I think Indiana has, I do not, I am not one who, I also don't believe in Indiana being like a top talent, but their wins kind of speak for themselves when it comes to this season. And I think they've had more impressive wins over Ohio State's wins. And I think that should put them at the number 1 spot if it wasn't for the fact that Ohio State's the defending national champion this season. I think that kind of contributes a little bit, although I'm sure I don't think it officially does, but I think it kind of sways the polling when it comes to people deciding the number 1 team when like the top 3 are all kind of tied up with their record. So it kind of puts Ohio at 1, but I think Indiana honestly has earned the number 1 spot with their wins on their schedule currently. Texas A&M, I am extremely surprised that they are 7-0 and they are in the top 5. If you asked me if that was going to be on my bingo card for this year, I'd have told you no way is a Texas A&M ever going to crack like top 5, top 10. But yet here we are with Texas A&M ranked number 3 in the country, with Alabama nipping at their heels. But yeah, I gotta agree with Ripstar here. I think it's a Fugazi. I think they're just kind of skating by. I mean, I've seen the way that they play their games. They do play well, but I don't see consistency, and I just think that they've just kind of benefited from the fact that I just don't think teams have really been anticipating what they're getting out of Texas A&M when it comes to the games. And I think that's kind of been working in their favor for getting the wins they've been getting. Alabama would be a good example of that. They've been extremely inconsistent this year. They've been consistent with like the teams that they should beat, but with like the teams that they that are questionable, they just haven't really had consistency on the field with their defense or their offense. But I mean, they did find a rhythm that got them to where they are now. So I mean, that's one thing. Georgia, um, I'm kind of surprised to see them in the top five. I'm surprised to see them at 6-1, especially after they barely beat Tennessee. I definitely would not have expected them to go 6-1 so far this season. Oregon kind of expected them to go 6-1. I honestly expected them to be undefeated too, because I think they have the talent to do that. I just kind of think they just had one bad game, and that kind of led to them being 6-1. But at least they're in the top 10, and I'm sure that they will be a big contender for the Big Ten championship against Ohio State if Ohio State stays at 7-0.
Yeah, so I mean, the thing with Texas A&M, do I think that they're the top team in the SEC? No. Do I think that they're a more talented team than Indiana? Yes. If you look on paper, I like their team. I like their players a lot better than Indiana's. I understand Mendoza is a really good quarterback and looking like he could possibly be one of the top quarterbacks taken in the draft next year. I would argue that that's partially because, like last year, this year's quarterback class is not looking to be a super deep or strong class. So kind of the same way that Cam Ward in most years would have been a round 2 quarterback, but he was the number 1 overall pick because there weren't any better quarterbacks in the class, and quarterback usually is the number 1 pick in most cases. I'm not saying Fernando Mendoza is a bad quarterback. I think he's good, but I don't think that that's enough to make me look at the rosters from top to bottom and say that Indiana is a better roster than Texas A&M, Alabama, Georgia, Oregon, even Georgia Tech, Ole Miss, Miami. I would say that Indiana's doesn't have a better roster. And don't get me wrong, I like the guys, a lot of the guys that are on Indiana's team, like Roman Hemby. Big fan of him when he was at, I think, Liberty last year. But I'm just saying, like, if you look at the talent on the team, I can't say that Indiana's a top 5 team. I do think that Texas A&M is going to make the playoffs this year simply because they have a very easy schedule. So I'm looking at their schedule here, and they've got LSU this weekend. Based on what we've seen from LSU, they're going to win that one. Then they're playing. Let's see, is this? I don't know if this is home or away because the thing I'm looking at doesn't show me. But then they play Mizzou. I think that's going to be a very good game. But I think that Texas A&M should win that game. They play South Carolina, and in a lot of cases, I might have taken South Carolina over Texas A&M, except South Carolina has been very inconsistent and injury plagued this year. Then they have a cupcake with Samford, and then they play Texas to end the season. And any other season, Texas is probably a loss for them. But this year, Texas is not been a great team. So Texas A&M could win out and go undefeated this year until the SEC championship game, where I would expect them to play either Alabama or Georgia and probably lose. But I think that at one loss, if your only loss is in the SEC championship, they're in the playoffs.
Yep.
I think that LSU, I've said it all year. Now, I do think LSU also has injury issues. Garrett Nussmeier, I'm pretty sure, is injured, and they're not telling us. But I've said all season long that my problem with LSU is I don't like Brian Kelly. I don't think he's a great coach, and I think he's the one that's held them back in much the same way that I've maintained that James Franklin is not a great coach, and he held Penn State back. I just, I want to like LSU. I think that they have one of the most talented teams in the country, but you've got a horrible head coach and what is likely an injured quarterback. So that's why they're struggling.
Yeah, I'd have to agree that that could be a reason why they're struggling. I think. Hang on a minute, let me pull this up. Okay, I honestly think that Nussmeier, if he isn't injured, then they should probably be playing him. But I think they could also be resting him for some of their bigger games coming up. But then again, if that was the case, they would have played him against Tennessee or Vanderbilt.
And I want to be clear, I'm not saying he's injured in the sense that I don't have any information. I don't have any insider knowledge, or I'm not trying to start rumors or anything. I'm telling you from the eye test of what I saw from him last year and what I'm seeing this year, it makes me wonder if there's something wrong, like an undisclosed injury that we don't know about, that's causing him to play so poorly compared to last year.
Right.
That's why I say that. I'm not trying to start any kind of rumors about him being injured. I'm not trying to, trash him or anything. I'm saying there is a marked difference between his performance last year and this year, and it makes me wonder if there's an injury. The same way that Quinn Ewers was injured for the majority of last season and nobody knew about it.
Right, and it does kind of make you question like what's going on over there. If he is injured, why haven't they disclosed it? If he's not injured, why are they not playing him? Because like he's supposed to be their top quarterback.
Yeah,
And
and now Sellers is injured. I don't know about Klubnik, but Sellers is injured.
yeah,
Has been injured like 2 or 3 times this year.
but I mean, I could see at the end of this season if he does come back into the game and balls out, I could see him going in like one of the top rounds of the NFL draft if he does end up balling out. Because, like you said, this draft is going to be a very weak draft for quarterbacks. So there's a good chance that even some that didn't play most of the season could end up still going pretty high up if they do well in the um if they do well in the combine. I lost what that thing was called. But anyway, let's hop over and let's move on to the next subject here. We're going to talk about the Week 9 preview. Talk about the games coming up this weekend and everything that goes along with that. Hang on.
All right, which one are we talking about now? Or first, and I'll pull up my notes.
Pulling up the screen here. All right, here we go. I got the list here. So we got Virginia, North Carolina, starting at 12 p.m. Number 16. Do you think Belichick has what it takes to take on Virginia?
No, I don't think either team is good. I think that on paper, North Carolina should have the better team, but the coaching situation there is a complete mess, and I think that Virginia wins that one. I don't think it should, but it's going to be an ugly game. It's not going to be a fun game to watch. It's not going to be a fun game to play in. It's going to be an ugly game. I think that Virginia probably edges that one out, though.
I'd have to agree with you. I don't think Belichick has really acclimated well to the college system. I think that he's kind of really struggling with the fact that he's used to working with guys that know what they're doing. In college, you're working with like high school talent. Essentially, they don't know what they're doing when they come to college. They have the basics, but not really much else. So when you're trying to run like these complicated schemes and whatnot, it's not going to flow well with these. I
don't even think it's the scheme though. I literally think it's just like the mentality of the coaching staff. Like when your head coach is Bill Belichick, who's in his 70s, 80s, whatever. When you've got your 20-something-year-old girlfriend down on the sideline assisting you at fucking coaching, which is weird.
Yeah.
When you're openly saying that you're willing to let the school pay your buyout if you can get another job either as a head coach or an analyst on TV before you get fired, like you're already mentally checked out, dude. And then like the pettiness that is going on there. So like Drake May, you're a fan of Drake May, right? Drake May plays for the Patriots.
I'm a fan of him in Madden.
Oh, okay, but he plays for the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Bill Belichick used to coach for the Patriots. there was a bad fallout between Bill Belichick and the Patriots ownership. Did you know that North Carolina players, staff, and anyone associated with the school are not allowed to publicly talk about the Patriots, even if it's talking about Drake May? Like, it's so petty. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that is crazy.
And so, like, the mentality of the coaching staff is a complete mess, and that's going to permeate through the team and into the play on the field.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being a huge point of contention, and might be even why they've been doing so horribly this season. I to Ripstar's question here, do you think that I want to call him Belichick, Belichick comes back next year? I think the only reason why he would is if the school hasn't decided to pay his buyout to fire him.
I don't think he comes back next year. I think there's a potential chance that his son comes back next year because his son was the defensive coordinator at Washington and then joined him at North Carolina. Because his son is like the only real bright spot on that coaching staff. If Bill Belichick resigns at the end of the season and they were to promote, I think his name's Steven Belichick, I think
Yeah,
that coaching staff instantly becomes more solid and solidified with the team and potentially less fallout from like a coaching change. But no, I don't think Bill Belichick comes back next year. I think that he's already basically burned that bridge.
yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I think the only reason why he would stay, or even like I think the only reason why he would stay is if he doesn't the school doesn't want to pay his buyout, or if I think that's pretty much it really. Like if the school can't pay it, doesn't want to pay his buyout, so they just kind of keep him around. But I mean, I think at the end of the day, I think you're right. I think he doesn't come back next year. I think he's just completely checked out. Like you said, he's definitely going to be leaving. I hope they promote somebody good to head coach of North Carolina, because I'd like to see them do something with the talent they have, because they have some decent players. They just have bad coaching right now.
Right.
So yeah, I'm gonna have to say Virginia is gonna win that one. Now it's UCLA Indiana. I don't think that's really gonna be a game. I think Indiana is gonna dominate UCLA.
I think they will dominate them. I've been pleasantly surprised by the turnaround at UCLA after they fired Foster, I think was
Yeah,
their previous head coach.
yeah, I
Their
believe so.
interim head coach, I believe, should be promoted to full-time head coach after the season. I think he's earned that with the turnaround that they've had, but I just don't know if they can, if they're going to be able to really put up much of a fight with Indiana. Um, I think you're probably looking at Indiana winning by 30, give or take. So I'm going to say 37-10 or 13 from UCLA. It is what it is, though.
Right.
I think UCLA, like I said, it's a nice story, their turnaround since they fired their coach, but now they're starting to play the better teams in the conference. So
Yeah, they're gonna start entering struggle bus territory. And I don't know as if I would agree with Ripstar here. It says if UCLA wins, fires Signetti. I don't think I'd necessarily agree with that, because I mean
Indiana's going to
UCLA has
bankrupt
been on the
themselves by
like if
extending Signetti every single season.
yeah, but I mean UCLA has been on the rise since they did get rid of their previous head coach. So I mean it wouldn't be out of the question to say that UCLA could potentially pull off an upset here, because they do have the talent to do so. They just needed the coaching to really get them going. I mean, if UCLA does win out against Indiana, I wouldn't say necessarily that Signetti should be fired, because Signetti has significant wins under his belt as it is on their schedule, and he's already in position to make a playoff run. So, I don't think it's necessarily in the territory of firing Signetti if they lose.
They're
I
not
think the only way
firing
that
Signetti.
Signetti would get fired is if they don't win another game this season.
I don't think he gets fired even if they do that. They are absolutely in love with Signetti. They've extended him twice in the last year. They have so much money tied up into him. They're not getting rid of
Right.
him no matter what they do. And I mean, and more power to him. People think that I hate Signetti. I don't hate him. I think what he's doing is awesome. I think he's very good at what he does. I just don't think he's a top like 10 power four head coach. I think he's very good at taking a mid-level college and punching above his weight class. I think he's an incredible talent evaluator and scout. And I th- I'm not trying to take anything away from what he's doing. I just think he's overvalued as the top coach.
Next we have South Florida versus Memphis. I think South Florida takes that game no problem against Memphis because I mean they have been doing really well this season, being a lower program coming into the AP Top 25. I don't think Memphis really has the kind of talent to be able to stand up to South Florida. But I mean, what are your thoughts quickly on this game? I personally don't think it's going to be a uh, I don't think it's going to be an super entertaining one unless you like watching. Yeah, but I mean, what are your thoughts?
I mean, I've said all season long that I thought USF was the Boise State, the SMU of this year. I think they have the inside track to get the at large bid for the playoffs.
Yeah,
So I think this is going to be a pretty easy game for South Florida.
absolutely. And the next one here, Ole Miss versus Oklahoma. I think what really kind of determines what's going to go on here is Mateer back or is Mateer still out?
I mean, I think he's back, but is he fully back? I don't think so.
Right.
I think Lane Kiffin's a good enough coach that he's going to be able to pull this one out and win. I thought and I picked Ole Miss to win last week against Georgia, and I was wrong. But I still think that this is a sort of a statement year for Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is trying to and has a good chance of making the playoffs. I would take them over
I think
Oklahoma.
I believe that there is a good chance Ole Miss is going to end up beating Oklahoma here, especially if Mateer isn't at 100% because he's kind of like their top quarterback. They rushed him back for a reason, and that was because Hawkins didn't have what it took to win in the big games. And this is kind of a big game for Oklahoma because this one is going to determine whether they get back in the top 10 or not. Because if they win, they can get back into the top 10. If they lose, they're going to keep dropping down in the rankings. So I'm gonna pick Ole Miss to win here because I don't think Mateer is back at 100%, and I think they have some other questionable players on the team that I think are really going to make it difficult for them to pull a win out. Is it possible for them to pull a win because it is in Norman? Yes, but I think Ole Miss is going to come to Norman and kind of and just win out over Oklahoma. I think it'll be a knockout dragout game. I could see it being a close game, but I think at the end of the day, we're going to be looking at. If I had to put a score on it, I would probably say low scoring, say 21-17.
See, I think it'll be a little bit closer, but a little bit higher scoring. I think Ole Miss will pull one out by like 28-24. Um, I love watching the storyline of Trinidad Chambliss, the quarterback for Ole Miss. Um, just like his entire story of going from under recruited to FCS to coming in as a transfer for Lane Kiffin to the starting quarterback whose name escapes me right now getting injured, Chambliss coming in and just completely playing lights out and taking the job. I think it's awesome, and I just think Mateer's hand probably needs another week or so to fully heal. I think that I would take Lane Kiffin as much as I don't like Lane Kiffin. I would take him as a head coach over Brent Venables. I think that Ole Miss wins.
I'm with you there. So the next one that I want to talk about here is this one right here, Texas A&M versus LSU. I know we skipped a bunch of teams, but I feel like this one is kind of a pretty important matchup to talk about because it is in the top 5 in the bottom 10. Or yeah, so I'm like in this game, Texas A&M's on the road against LSU. Texas A&M still has a good amount of their team still healthy. LSU is kind of struggling with injury. I don't think they have Nussmeier back, or if he is, I'm not sure what's going on
I
there.
don't think he's injured. I don't think he's officially injured.
Well, yeah, no, I just you know what I mean. Like he hasn't been playing the last couple games, and it's kind of been hurting them to where they dropped from top 10 to top 15, and now they're in the bottom 10. So actually, they're in the bottom 5. My bad. So looking at the two teams, me personally, because they are playing in Death Valley, I do want to give the edge to LSU here because they are playing in Death Valley, and if Nuss plays, then I could see it being a loss for A&M. But at the same point, LSU has been so inconsistent this year that I could see Texas A&M pulling out a win against LSU and catching them lacking in their own house. What do you think?
I think Brian Kelly's a horrible coach. I think he's getting fired. I think that the only reason, I think the fact that they're playing in Death Valley is the only reason that I'm going to say it's a touchdown difference in the game.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that Texas A&M covers the spread and wins by a touchdown. I'm going to say it's 34-28 at A&M, and I'll be surprised if Brian Kelly is the coach of LSU next week.
Yeah, I would be surprised too if Brian Kelly drops the ball in this game here. I definitely would be surprised to see him still as the head coach of LSU come next week. Because if they lose this game, they are 110% out of the playoff contention. There is no way for them to claw their way back up after this game. Because this is their best shot to get back up into contention for the playoffs. If they lose, they're out completely. And that's something that I think Brian Kelly needs to take into account when game planning for this game, and definitely got to take into account the fact that A&M's got Le'Veon Moss back there, and he's going to be a huge threat against their defense. And I agree with you. I think it's going to be a touchdown separating them because of it being in Death Valley and the environment there. It's going to be very tough on A&M. I also agree that A&M comes away with the win in this game. Michigan State, I think we stomped them. I think we already talked about this on the Maze Madman show. I think I said like 34 to, I think it was 17.
Yeah, I mean, I think Michigan's going to make a statement with this game. I think you're going to see consistency from week to week for the first time. Bryce's first rivalry game, Andrew Marsh's first rivalry game. They're looking at the stupid trash talk that's being made by MSU.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Michigan State the benefit of the doubt that they're going to be able to at least score something, but I'm going to say that it's going to be Michigan 44, Michigan State 10.
See, I would like to see that, but I do want to give some credence to the fact that it is on the road at Michigan State Stadium, and granted, it's just right down the road from Michigan.
Yeah, is it really a
Ann
road game
Arbor,
when you're
so it's
playing
not
an
really a
hour and a
road
half?
game, but
You're playing an hour and a half from your home stadium,
right.
But
And
here's the thing, though. Here's why I think that they will score. Okay, I don't think Michigan State scores more than 10 or 13 points. I predicted 10,
right.
but I do think they move the ball early.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is because they have a very good screen game, and
We struggle with that big
we all
time.
know that Wink likes to blitz.
Yeah.
And how do you counter blitz? With
Screen.
screens, with the running back and tight end screens.
Well, screens and crossers.
Yeah, but specifically with Michigan State, they're very good at screens.
Yeah.
I do think they're going to be able to move the ball, but I think that Wink's defense is going to bend not break. I think they're going to be able to get down the field. They're going to get a couple field goals, maybe a touchdown. But that's it. I mean, that's going to be the extent of it. So it's just how quickly does Wink adapt his defense to what they're doing, and that's when Michigan will start to pull away.
So Ripstar says we need more zero blitzes. No, we actually need less zero blitzes.
No, I agree. More blitzing.
No, we don't need more blitzing. That's our whole problem right now.
We always need more blitzing.
Our whole problem is we blitz too much. That's the whole reason why we keep struggling so much.
We do not blitz enough. We need to blitz more.
We need to calm down on the blitzing. So now that we got through the week 9 preview, let's talk about some of the marquee matches. Like let's pick 2 games that you think would be the marquee matchups in this one. Like for me, I'll go first. I would say the Texas A&M LSU game because that has huge playoff implications of getting LSU back in contention. I think the other one would be, where is it? Ole Miss, Oklahoma. No, sorry, not Ole Miss, Oklahoma.
Want to try that again?
Yeah, we'll rewind. We'll try that again. I guess I'd have to say Michigan State, because that's one that a lot of people are going to be talking about. That's going to get us ready for the Ohio State game, because this kind of also helps us get back in the flow. So yeah, I'm going to have to go with Texas A&M, LSU, and Michigan State as the marquee matchups for the weekend.
So the ones I want to watch the most, obviously Michigan State's number one on my list. I kind of really want to watch the Tennessee Kentucky game. I'm interested and enamored with what Tennessee and Josh Heupel's doing with Joey Aguilar.
Yeah,
And Tennessee Kentucky's always an interesting rivalry game. But a couple that I think are sort of sneaky marquee matchups. Houston and Arizona State, with Arizona State beating Texas Tech last week, the Big 12 is wide open.
right.
And so that's going to be a good one. I also think I think Bama and South Carolina would have been, if it wasn't for all the injuries that South Carolina's facing.
Yeah.
But I think a couple that are sort of sneaky, sneakily like marquee and going to be fun to watch games is going to be BYU and Iowa State. BYU is playing really good. Their head coach, Kalani Sitake, I think is how you say his name, has that team rolling. And I've been a fan of Iowa State all year. I like Rocco Becht quite a lot. I like a lot of their players. They've got this defensive tackle, Dom Orange, Citrus or whatever. I don't know. He's cool. And like I like their team. I like Iowa State. So I'm going to be interested to watch that. And then I think another good one is going to be Diego Pavia and Vanderbilt taking on the Mizzou Tigers with Bo Prabula. And I think both of those teams are overachieving against preseason expectations.
Oh,
So I
for
think that's
sure.
going to be a fun game.
Like, I'm interested to see if Vanderbilt can hold their top 10 spot and make it into the playoffs. Because I would be it would be really interesting to see two Tennessee teams make the playoffs if Tennessee can work its way back up. Um, I think it would be great to see a Tennessee v Tennessee playoff game.
Right. Well, they'll play by the end of the year, though. That's one of their big rivalries.
Right. Yeah, like for me, I'd have to say Texas A&M, LSU would be a pretty interesting one to watch, just because it has huge playoff implications with LSU getting back into contention. Because right now they're firmly out of it, but if they beat A&M, then they should jump up the board pretty far. I agree. Tennessee and Kentucky will be a great game. Tennessee's been doing some interesting things over there, like you said. I was kind of disappointed in the Alabama game, to be fair. The Tennessee Alabama, I would have liked to see Tennessee put up more of a fight, but it seems like they just kind of gave up early. Yeah, and the other one, I guess, would be Indiana UCLA would be an interesting one, just to kind of see if UCLA can pull off an upset. I don't think, now to be clear, I don't think they will, but if they do, it would be kind of interesting to see, because then that would also rank UCLA in the top 25 and drop Indiana a lot if they lose, because UCLA is unranked, and that would definitely be interesting, and it would actually kind of show that Indiana is just a fraud being up there at number 2 if they do lose to UCLA.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've been high on UCLA the last two weeks when I do the Saturday morning show with over at Final Whistle Network. Like I've been the only one that's picked them on the last two games, and it's made me look like a genius. But I can't pick them against Indiana.
I guess I have one question in regards. Let's talk Michigan for a second. I got one question in regards to the rivalry game this weekend. So you know how normally at the end of the games is usually something happens at the end of every Michigan State game. So this year, with like how unruly our team has been, who do you think starts the fight at the end of the Michigan State game this year?
It's always little brother. They're always the one that started, and then they try to. It's like they'll do something, and then they'll point at our reaction to what they did and say, "See, look, they started it. It's stupid." It's like every single year.
Well, right. I
Like,
mean, but you've seen people talking about how unruly our guys are this year with how like the taunting and the excessive celebrations and whatnot with what's kind of been going on. Like, do you think there's a chance that Michigan, that our guys could be the ones that start the fight at the end of the MSU game?
No, we weren't the ones that started the fight in the tunnel. We weren't the ones that started the thing last year with Colston Loveland. Um, again, like they want to point to what we do, but they ignore what they do to provoke it. So like,
Right.
no, I would
I
say
mean,
the one year that we provoked it, it was probably the Devin Bush thing. But I think even that was a response to something that someone had said previously. So
yeah. I mean, I don't. I honestly think that this is going to be a good warm up for the Ohio State game when it comes time for that. This should showcase where we're sitting in the season, kind of showcasing to the fans that, hey, we got our ducks in a row. We're ready to move forward. I am kind of annoyed that it always takes 8 freaking weeks. Well, I can't really say always, but that it's taken again 8 freaking weeks for Wink Martindale to come online. Like the first year he was brand new to Michigan, brand new to the system, implementing a new system. I get it, but we're in year 2 right now. I'm not saying he's been here for 2 years, but we're in year 2 at this point. It should not take him 8 weeks to get his ducks in a row to figure it out, you know? Like, and I'm not hating on Wink. I really am not. Like, I want him to do great here at Michigan. I am just annoyed that I can't say always. I keep wanting to say always, but I'm just annoyed that it has taken him again 8 weeks to get his shit together.
I don't think you can put it all on him. I think the players have been. Yes, it comes down to coaching, but it also comes down to execution, and the players themselves have not been in the right gaps. They've been overextending themselves on plays. They've not been wrapping up and tackling properly. Yes, that goes back to coaching. As far as like that's the coach's job to coach them up to be able to tackle right, to be able to recognize assignments and where to be. But it's also on the players to execute. And so I mean, I can't I can't say Wink is more than half at fault for it. I mean, Wink didn't tell Brandon Hillman to taunt the other sideline and get technical penalty or taunting penalties. Um, it's like Wink didn't tell the guys to not wrap up the tackles. He didn't tell them. He didn't tell 3 guys to cover one gap and leave the other one open. Um, you know, yes, his system requires a level of complexity, and that's on the coaches to make sure that that's coached up properly. But if they're executing it in practice and then they're not executing it in the game, I don't think that's on Wink.
Right, and I kind of understand that, but I still like I just don't like. I'm honestly kind of looking at the play calling when it comes to the defense, and mainly talking about the excessive blitzing. That's kind of where my issue is. Is
Yeah, but
like excessive
that's
blitzing is kind of what's been hurting us, especially when it comes to, like, everyone knows that we are blitz happy, so they're gonna kill us with screens and side to side passes.
yeah, but again, blitzing is one of those things that if it works, we're all saying he's a genius, and if it doesn't, we're all ripping him apart. When really, it's more somewhere in the middle. There was nothing wrong with him when he was blitzing heavily with the Ravens and they were dominating in the 2010s. There's nothing wrong with
Well,
him
there's
blitzing heavily at the second half of the last season when we were winning. Just because like he's got to call the play in the moment. And we get to look back and say, well, we won the game, so the blitzing worked, or we lost the game, so the blitzing's at fault. He can't think like that. He's got to call the play in the moment within the system and trust that the system's going to work.
I mean, I definitely don't think that we should be doing so many 0-7 blitzes, though. I think that we should be mixing that up a little bit more than just going straight. Uh, send the whole train at him. You know.
I think it's situational. I think it's fine when he does it. I think that there's situationally ones that I would like back or to change. But if you
Right.
really look at like the flow of the game and what they're calling, I mean, Wink Martindale has forgotten more about football than you or I. So when he sees something on the field and his instinct is let's blitz here, he's probably got a good reason. And I find it hard for me to tell him he's wrong.
Right. I mean, I can kind of look at it from an outside perspective and like from a top-down view and say, hey, they're in a formation that just kind of is gonna demolish this blitz here. I hope we're not blitzing here, and then we end up blitzing. I'm like, oh well, we probably should have done
Okay,
that. But I mean, I can see it from top down. He's looking at it from a
but
side view, so I kind of get it.
you also gotta look at our DBs. Our young DBs have played really good, but we also are not super deep at the DB position, right?
Right.
He doesn't have the DBs to stick in coverage for 5, 7, 8 seconds and let the quarterback sit in the pocket. We've got to get pressure. And if we were getting pressure with our starting four, if Derek Moore and TJ Guy and Rayshon Benny and Trey Williams were getting pressure with just those four, we probably would be blitzing less. But when they haven't, when we have to blitz 5 with Jayshawn Barham in order to get pressure, when Rayshon Benny is being taken completely out of the pass rush game, in order to get pressure, okay, well, if it's not working with 4, we got to go to 5. If it's not working with 5, we got to go to 6 because that's what the
Right.
system is. It's like if
Right.
the players are not performing, he's got a play call to sort of make up for that lack of pressure.
Yeah, and I kind of understand that at a point, but like I think that just kind of comes down. We gotta get our guys better at busting through to get that pressure down or pushing back to get that pressure
I
down.
mean,
I mean, I'm
everyone
all,
compares him to Jesse Minter because Jesse Minter had a 20 to 30% blitz rate, and Wink has had a 40 to 50% blitz rate. Jesse Minter didn't need to blitz because he was rushing Aiden Hutchinson, David Ajabo, Braden McGregor, and Jalen Harrell, along with Chris Jenkins and
and you know, on a side note though,
Mozzie Smith and Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant. Like those guys, when it was any combination of 4 of those guys on the line and they're getting pressure, yeah, of course, Mike McDonald and Jesse Minter didn't have to blitz as much as Wink, but TJ Guy and Derek Moore and Rayshon Benny are not getting that pressure that
right? But
those
you're
guys.
also forgetting about Jayshawn Barham.
Yes, but okay. Last week we started Jayshawn Barham in place of TJ Guy,
Yeah.
and last week we only had a 25% blitz rate. Prior to last week, we were blitzing Barham as the 5th pass rusher, and that's
Yeah.
how we were getting pressure. That's why we were blitzing so much, and so every time that Barham was rushing, that was counted as a blitz. It wasn't always a 0 blitz, but it was counted as a blitz because we had to rush 5 in order to get pressure because the front 4 were not getting pressure.
Yeah, and I think I definitely think that's something that we need to work on moving forward. Is trying to get pressure with the front 4, and not having to rush everybody to get pressure. But we have hit our hour mark, so we're gonna work on we're gonna wrap up here. I think unless you have anything more you want to go over before we get out of here.
No, I mean, I just, I can sit here and talk about it all day. Sorry for
Right.
if we went off
No,
topic
you're
there,
good.
but no, I mean, I think it's going to be a fun game tomorrow. I think Michigan's getting rolling. I think that people need to take a step back, stop hating on the coaching staff, trust the process. We have a young coach, or well, not young. I say largely young in their career coaching staff, but we also have a lot of guys with experience. We have one of the youngest team in the Big Ten. Last week, I think we started 6 out of 11 guys on offense were freshmen. Okay. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be mental blunders. There's going to be things that happen because they don't have the experience and the reps. We have to live and die with that. Same with Sharon Moore as a second-year head coach. Trust the process. We're only getting better. Everything's trending up. Stop hating on the coaches. Stop hating on the players. And stop hating on other fans just because they don't jump on the same negativity train as you want to get on. Enjoy the games, enjoy the process, enjoy what you're seeing from the young guys, and look towards what that's going to mean for the next 2 to 3 seasons. Look at the recruiting classes that are coming in and how that's going to continue.
Yeah, see, I definitely am looking forward to the game this weekend. I think we're going to definitely blow out. I think we're definitely going to blow out MSU. I don't think it's going to be a problem. I'm probably going to watch a couple of the other games before the Michigan State game comes on, just to kind of look and see what the other teams are doing. I'll probably watch the Vandy games. That one actually seems kind of interesting to watch. Mizzou for
I'm telling you, Diego
Vandy.
Pavia is just the Mexican version of Cam Skattebo at quarterback. It's hilarious. You've got to watch it.
That's honestly why I'm going to watch the Vandy game, to see what's going on there. But there's a lot of good games going on this weekend. It's a great weekend for college football, a great weekend for football as a whole. But with that, that's all the time we have for today. Kinetik, do you want to tell the people where they can find you? And also, if you guys notice at the top right-hand corner, there is a QR code. That's for Kinetik's GoFundMe. If you scan that, it'll take you right to the page. It's over on that side. Yep. It'll take you to his page, so you can check that out. And then Kinetik, go ahead and tell people where they can find you, what you got going on.
Yeah, so on all social media platforms at Kinetik615, on YouTube at Kinetik615 or Kinetik615 plays for my gaming. You can see the GoFundMe link in the description of the video or attached to my bios. Shout out to Ripstar in the chat. He's the one that actually encouraged me to create the GoFundMe a little more than a year ago. And as we get closer to the arbitration date and I can hopefully end the campaign, I would like to ask anyone that's still able to help us get to the finish line to keep bills paid, to make it so that I'm still able to get myself and my mother to our doctor's appointments until I get the disability. I appreciate anyone that takes a chance to look at it, consider, even if you can't donate, share the link out on social media, share the story. Someone might see it and be able to help out. And that's all it takes. Also, Saturday mornings. So tomorrow morning, I do the Saturday AM Scramble with my guys Mike and Lucian over on the Final Whistle Network on YouTube. You can catch me over there, and then of course right here on the Gamer Sideline.
And you can find me over at Lichamax626 on all platforms. If you can't find me on that platform, it's because I'm not there. You can also find me over at the Maze Madman channel for Maze Out Mondays, where I produce the show and I also host the your favorite part of the show, the Lich Picks portion. Sometimes they let me stay up a little bit longer, but mostly I just produce the show on Mondays. Also, you can find me right here at the Gamer Sideline, where I will be making posting some videos throughout the week, trying to do some shorts and whatnot. So make sure you are subscribed with that notification bell on so you don't miss a single thing that we do here on the Gamer Sideline. And without further ado, cheer loud, play harder, and we'll catch you right here next time on the Sideline.
From joystick dreams to Friday night lights, it's controllers and cleats under podcast mics with Life Max dropping deep like he's throwing a bomb, and Kinetik calling audible, staying calm in the storm. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Leash Max, never miss a beat. When the final whistle blows or the credits roll, we're signing off strong, that's how gamers take control. Catch us on the sideline, where legends chill, where the playbooks flip and the passion's real. If you heard the takes, then you know the drill. Till next time, fam, keep it clutch, keep it skill. From the field to the sticks, yeah, we bring the heat. With Kinetik and Lichmax, never miss a beat. When the headset's off and the lights go low, we'll be back next game, y'all already know. We out.